Welcome to ASTRALX, illuminating your cosmic path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Lunaria Selene, your intuitive guide.
Today we're doing a really personal deep dive, exploring the celestial influences for 2025, specifically for those of you with Gemini rising and a Cancer sun. It's quite a combination.
It really is a fascinating one.
We'll be drawing on astrological analysis, personality insights, predictions, basically try to pull out the most useful information to help you navigate the year with, well, more self-awareness.
Exactly. Understanding that fundamental energy, the outward Gemini expression, and the inner Cancer world is key.
So make sure you subscribe to ASTRALX to unlock more insights tailored just for you, delivered right to your inbox. Links are below. But first, what subtle currents might these stars stir in your closest bonds this year? Let's illuminate that path.
Let's do it. So Gemini rising, this is how you first meet the world, right? It's that initial impression.
Yeah, energetic, curious, definitely communicative.
It's like the opening notes of your personal symphony, ruled by Mercury, naturally.
Which gives that talent for connection, for communication. You probably approach things pretty logically at first, sizing things up.
Absolutely. Gathering info, making those quick connections. The mind is always working.
Like a social butterfly is how it's often described. Thriving in new places, exchanging ideas easily. You bring that buzz.
You really do. That adaptability, the quick wit, it's all part of the package. People are often drawn to that playful, youthful energy.
And that charm, definitely. Having broad interests helps too, right? You can connect with almost anyone.
For sure. And the mind is just constantly going, thirsting for knowledge, for stimulation. Loves a good debate, probably.
Oh, definitely. Engaging in that lively back and forth.
Yeah, and here's the interesting part. This very outward intellectual focus, it can sometimes mask what's going on underneath.
Right, that Gemini rising cerebral quality versus the Cancer sun's emotional depth.
It's a contrast.
It can be. It's like you said earlier, that sailboat on a deep ocean.
I like that. So while you're out there engaging with your wit and adaptability, your core self, your Cancer sun, is operating from a place of deep feeling.
Exactly. That's your fundamental identity, your emotional center. Cancer being a water sign, it's all about sensitivity, nurturing instincts.
Very much so. Often quite traditional, kind, loyal, dependable, deeply connected to family, to home.
Home is huge, isn't it? More than just walls and a roof.
Oh, absolutely. It's a sanctuary, a place of warmth, comfort, real personal connection. Empathy is strong, sentimentality too. Security is just foundational.
A deep-rooted desire for it.
Definitely. And, this need to process things privately, the Cancer sun shell metaphor, that can sometimes clash a bit with the more open Gemini rising persona in social settings.
That's a really good point. Something to be aware of, potential miscommunications there.
Right, and Cancer suns can bring, well, moodiness sometimes, a need to retreat and process.
And that sensitivity to criticism, even if you project toughness. The emotions it can shift like the tides.
They really can. So you've got this fascinating interplay. The outgoing, curious Gemini meets the sensitive, security-seeking Cancer.
How does that actually work? Day to day, that duality.
Well, that's the core question, isn't it? You have this Gemini drive to explore, learn new things, gather data.
They're always looking outward.
But then the Cancer sun is pulling inward, yearning for emotional safety, for the familiar, for comfort.
So the mind wants to roam, but the heart wants to anchor.
Kind of, yeah. It's a constant negotiation, potentially.
I could see how that would play out in relationships then. You'd be drawn to someone sharp, interesting.
Intellectually stimulating, definitely. Someone who gets the Gemini side.
But they also need to provide that safe harbor, that emotional security and nurturing for the Cancer sun.
Absolutely crucial. You need both the spark and the warmth. It's not either.
Finding that balance.
Yeah.
And balancing the Gemini need for maybe freedom or independence with the Cancer need for closeness, maybe even a little clinginess sometimes.
Exactly. Finding someone who understands and honors both those needs is, well, it's the goal.
And career-wise.
Yeah.
That Gemini communication skill points towards things like writing, speaking, marketing.
Yeah, adaptable fields where you connect with people.
But the Cancer side might pull towards caring roles, teaching, counseling.
Or roles where you can create stability, nurture a team or environment.
Right. It's about finding work that uses the brain and feels emotionally right, secure.
The whole challenge and the opportunity, really, is integrating that outward exploration with the need for a solid emotional base.
Okay, so let's bring this into 2025. What are the big cosmic currents affecting this specific combination?
Right, let's look at the transits. First off, Jupiter, the planet of growth and luck, is in Gemini until June 9th, 2025.
Okay, so hitting that Gemini rising directly.
Exactly. This means the first half of the year, roughly, is big for personal growth, new starts, amplified opportunities. It's really time to lean into that curiosity, pursue goals.
Like the universe is saying, go for it.
Yeah.
Use those communication skills.
Pretty much. Network, launch things, put yourself out there. It's a supportive energy for your outward persona.
And then after June 9th.
Jupiter moves into Cancer.
Ah, hitting the sun sign.
Yep. So for the next year, the focus shifts inward. Home, family, emotional security becomes central.
So nurturing relationships, maybe even home improvements or moving, feathering the nest.
Could be. Definitely a time for deepening emotional roots, cultivating that inner sanctuary. Sensitivity and empathy get turned up.
Interesting flow. Outward push, then inward focus. What else is happening?
Well, Saturn is in Pisces until May 24th. For you, this impacts the career sector.
Okay, Saturn means discipline, structure.
Usually, yes. It can bring stability professionally, a chance to build something solid, but it demands hard work, discipline, responsibility.
So potential for solidifying career stuff, but you got to put the work in.
You do. It's about long-term goals and showing commitment.
Gotcha. And Uranus, the planet of shakeups.
Right. Uranus dips its toes into Gemini briefly, from July 7th to November 8th.
Just a preview.
Exactly. A preview of a longer transit coming later, but this little taste can spark a desire for more freedom, innovation, maybe shaking up personal identity a bit.
So be open to unexpected changes, embracing individuality, even if it feels a bit sudden.
That's the idea. It's ultimately about liberation, breaking old patterns.
Okay, and we can't forget eclipses. Powerful times.
Definitely not. We've got lunar eclipses March 14th and September 7th, and solar eclipses March 29th and September 21st.
And these tend to bring turning points.
Major ones, often. For this combo, they're likely hitting areas related to career, home, relationships, those core Cancer-Gemini themes.
So pay attention around those dates. Things might shift significantly.
Absolutely. Culminations, new beginnings, eclipses accelerate things.
Okay, so summing up 2025. Jupiter boosts the rising, then the sun. Saturn demands career focus. Uranus offers a taste of change. Eclipses mark key turning points. It sounds dynamic.
Very dynamic. And, ancient astrological wisdom really backs this up. Gemini rising is always noted for communication, that active mind.
The eternal student, the messenger.
Right. And Cancer sun, always that deep link to home, family, the nurturing core.
The emotional anchor.
And the interplay, that airy curiosity and watery sentimentality. Ancient sources saw it as potentially overwhelming, but also incredibly potent, like having the wind and the ocean inside you.
Wow. Both agile thinking and deep feeling.
Exactly. And modern astrologers see this too. They often describe this combination as being great communicators and deeply compassionate listeners.
Having both skills, intellect and empathy.
Yeah. But they also note that, navigating between the logical mind and the feeling heart can require conscious effort. Integration.
And that internal conflict potential again.
Especially in relationships. Finding someone who gets the Gemini need for mental connection and the Cancer need for emotional safety, that's the sweet spot.
That balance between freedom and security, again, a recurring theme.
It really is. So looking at 2025 overall, what are some bigger themes for someone with this makeup?
Well, aligning actions with a deeper purpose seems key. Using that Gemini intellect to find paths. And the Cancer nurturing side to guide towards helping others, maybe. Finding meaning that clicks on both levels.
That makes sense. And healing in relationships could be big, too.
How so?
Using the Gemini communication for resolving conflicts and the Cancer empathy for forgiveness, understanding, letting go of old hurts.
Ah, okay. And career-wise, it's about checking that alignment with values.
Yeah. The Gemini adaptability opens doors, but the Cancer need for security and meaning will likely steer towards paths that feel stable and fulfilling.
Not just a job, but something that resonates.
Exactly. And then there's that ongoing dance, independence versus connection, Gemini versus Cancer. Awareness is the first step there.
Just knowing that dynamic is at play.
Right. And finally, just well-being, mental and emotional.
How do you mean?
Practices for mental clarity good for the busy Gemini mind, and self-care routines that really nourish the emotional Cancer core, tending to both sides.
Okay, so it's about consciously working with these energies.
Precisely. Using these insights to navigate 2025 with more intention, more awareness.
So this deep dive really shows a dynamic, multifaceted nature for Gemini rising, Cancer sun. You've got the mental quickness and the deep heart.
A powerful blend.
And the key for 2025 seems to be understanding and integrating these two powerful parts of yourself. Embrace the curiosity, honor the feelings, and watch those cosmic currents.
Well said.
So think about it. What pivotal shifts might these energies bring to your closest relationships? Or even just your sense of home, of belonging this year? This is really just scratching the surface of your unique cosmic story.
May this exploration bring some light to your path forward.
This has been Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And Lunaria Selene, your intuitive guide.
On ASTRALX, illuminating your cosmic path. Remember to subscribe for those personalized readings delivered to your inbox. Check the purchase links in the description. Until next time, may your path be illuminated.